Hello. I'm here because I need to kind of rant a little bit about something. Something that's been bothering me for quite a long time. And it's having something to do with, well, how you communicate with a game. And it's called analog sticks. Ugh. I get irritated when I think about it. The reason why is because, hear me out on this, right? I have a keyboard and mouse on my laptop, okay? And I also have, a controller for my, PC, right? Can you tell me why, after all of the controllers that I've went through for the years of me playing these games or something like that, could you tell me why I still haven't been able to replace my keyboard? Yeah, sure, I had to replace my mouse a few times, yes, but that's because my buttons were either jammed or they just didn't work anymore. But they still last a lot longer than a goddamn, I don't know, controller and its analog stick. I don't know why, but a controller's analog stick can just say, "Yeah, I know you spent like $60 on me, but I'm just gonna give out for like ever." Every time you try moving the stick to a certain degree or whatnot, I'm just gonna tweak out. I'm just gonna not work functionally. I'm just not gonna work to the best capacity that you could want. Right. But when you use a fucking keyboard, dude, a keyboard's like a tank. A keyboard's just destined to get like a million taps per second or some shit. It's just still like, yeah, keep doing it. Yeah, I could take it. Like, bro, are you serious? You want me to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking spend all my hard earned money on a fucking controller that'll probably break in about like 8 to how many times or whatnot for what? For a game that you probably like play occasionally, right? Or like a game that you probably play hardcore at, like a Call of Duty or some shit. You want me to just simply just sit here and be like, oh yeah, well, although I have stick drift, but surely I'll be able to get some headshots. Or like, surely I'm gonna be able to kill this guy who's in front of me, who definitely also doesn't have stick drift. Like, come on, man. Are you serious? Like, you want me to just believe that? Oh yeah, your gaming experience that requires you to move in the experience is finicky, but you're going to enjoy that shit. You're going to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this finicky analog stick every time when I push forward because it detects that I'm actually going to the left or something like that, even though I'm holding the entire stick forward. And I'm just like, what is this shit? I remember, because I'm an older gamer, I'm 27 and I'm pretty old, but I remember around in the PS2 era of gaming where those controllers were durable as shit. I'll tell you what. Fucking I've seen people drop it. Uh I've seen like creases in the button layout because people have nails or something like that. I've seen it all. I've seen people throwing that shit across the room, hit the wall, fall down, hit the floor. It still works like it's nothing. Nowadays it's like, oh, well, oh, I'm delicate as shit with my controller, and then it could just die. It could just like not work anymore. Like, what in the fuck is this shit? Why is this happening? I don't get it. I don't understand why all of these controllers are just pitiful compared to ones like before or whatnot. And yeah, try and convince me that there's other better ones than the PS2 controller. Try and convince me that there's some that are better than the Xbox 360 controller or whatnot. Because the Xbox 360 controller was pretty damn fucking durable or something like that. I'll just be honest. All right. There's yeah, sure, Jaw, you get all these cheap ones or something like that. Yeah, but the reason why I get the cheap ones is so that I can still kind of play instead of like having to spend $60 for a controller that's probably going to do the very same thing these $20 controllers are doing. And guess what? If I do have a $60 controller and it's stick drifting like a fucking idiot, I guess I'm just gonna have to eat that shit. I guess I'm just gonna have to hold that I just spent $60 on this goddamn controller. Instead of, oh, I just spent like $20 on this controller. That's just another thing that I also think about too, right? Like the Switch 2 came out, or no, not really came out. It's being announced, right? The Pro controller is a good $80 or $90. Let that sink in for a second. We already have stick issues and all of that jazz. And for like $60 official controllers, you want me to sit here and believe that these $90 controllers are not going to have stick drift, are not going to malfunction when you're playing a game? The Switch 2 is going to be geared towards little kids and for adults as well. It is going to be advertised for people who are probably going to throw their Joy-Cons. They're probably going to drop their Joy-Cons. They're probably going to get drool, food, all of that shit inside that goddamn controller. And you're going to sit here and tell me that, yes, spending $90 on a Joy-Con is like the greatest thing to ever grace this earth. Are you serious? Oh yeah, but inflation though. Bro, hear me out. You want me to sit here and say I'm going to enjoy this experience with a $90 Pro controller for a system that is over $50 plus all of the accessories and shit? You're going to make me sit here and believe that I'm gonna have to spend probably a chunk of my paycheck for a controller that'll probably have stick drift? Are you serious? And then and people are like, oh, but Jaw, why are you always on the PC so much? Why do you always keep saying that we should just go and play PC gaming? I'm tired, but hear me out on this. When it comes to a keyboard and mouse, you get consistency. When it comes to a keyboard and mouse, a lot of the time, even if you get a cheap one, they still last a lot longer. Yeah, they do. This keyboard that I have right here, dude, this shit has went through the ringer. Fucking the face buttons are defaced, right? And yet it still fucking works after 4 years of me having it. This mouse I borrowed from my cousin. Yeah, borrowed. It double clicks, by the way. But I can still fucking use it. And it doesn't interrupt my gameplay a lot of the time. It doesn't. Because guess what? It's consistent. With a fucking analog stick, like, you use analog sticks for majority of your gaming. For what? For two things. For moving and for looking around. Those two things are what makes a controller good. But at the same time, if the analog sticks do not function properly, guess what happens? You don't have control. You do not have control over your character. You don't have control over the game. And eventually, you don't have control over your fun. Okay? You don't have control over that. And guess what? Now these guys are going to be sitting here asking for $90 more so you could replace your terrible pro controller thing. Or either that, or you get something significantly worse. That'll probably break in like 8 months or so. That'll probably, like, just say, ah, yes, I'm going to give up on you, master, because you spent only like $30 on me. Oh, and all you're gonna get from these people is, well, you bought what you wanted. I'm irritated. Sorry. It's just a rant. And I'm done. I'm done.